Hi everyone, I'm Jolene, your know-it-all matchmaker. I'm here with Wendy, your epic love coach. You're single for a reason. Here's another episode where we tell you what no one else will. Hi everybody, and welcome back to Find True Love Faster, the podcast. I'm Wendy, the epic love coach, and I've got my partner in crime, Jolene, the know-it-all matchmaker.
Hi, everyone.
And today we are checking back in with Scarlet Amor. Our podcast interview with her was one of the juiciest, most fun, most dynamic interviews we ever did. And she had massive, and welcome back.
Hi, Wendy and Jolene. I'm so happy to be back on the show.
We're so excited to hear your story. Okay, so let's start first with where were you at a year ago when we spoke?
It's so wild to realize it's been a whole year. A year ago, I was healing my heart after a horrendous breakup and betrayal from my previous partner. Single mom, working from home, and doing a lot of deep inner work to really be ready for my life partner, because that was what I wanted. And, if we listen back on that original interview, coaching session I did with you, you really helped me realize that the biggest struggle for me was around fidelity and around getting super clear on what I really want out of a long-term relationship with a man. Because it was really confusing for me after experiencing so much fidelity experiencing infidelity with my previous partner, and my history of being a relationship coach and sex coach and exploring polyamory with some of my relationships in the past. So I was just really confused and at the same time beyond ready to meet my mate.
Yeah, I really felt that when you came to us, that you were in a position where you were like, I believe that he's out there and I'm going to meet him. How long were you single after that last relationship?
It was around 9 months when I contacted you guys and started the Bootcamp and got my coaching with you. And the big question is, how soon after did I meet him after our coaching?
Well, I do want to know, in the dating, healing, all of this realm, what was your lowest kind of pity party moment? Did you have one?
You mean when I was dating?
Yeah. Were you at any point in your relationships like, oh my God, it doesn't exist, or, no one's going to be what I want, or is he out there?
Yeah, I mean, that lowest pity party moment was after my previous breakup, when I realized my boyfriend already had a live-in life partner. He was having an affair with his roommate. And it just was devastating to me because that was my ultimate dream. I want to live with my partner. I want to have a whole and complete family with a wonderful partner that's doing the work with me, who obviously would be integrous, in keeping our fidelity together. So that was my dream. And I was devastated to see that, my previous boyfriend created that dream with someone else. And I mean, that really took the rug out from underneath me. I mean, it was such a slap in my face to be like, wait a minute, you created this dream with someone else and you did it with a bunch of lies and betrayal. Like, wow, universe. Like, I took it really personally, and that was when I really dove into my deep inner work, looking at my trust issues and realizing it wasn't them, it's me.
Yeah. I love that. What types of steps did you take to kind of heal from that?
I mean, in general, the biggest thing for me was just taking responsibility for my life, taking responsibility for the relationship breakdowns that were happening, and getting really honest with myself. Like, where am I breaking trust with myself? Where am I betraying myself? Because it wasn't black and white. It wasn't that I was actively cheating. I wasn't. It was the complete opposite. But I realized my breakthrough moment through the deep inquiry and getting therapy and coaching, I realized that I was breaking trust with myself because I wasn't following my intuition. Like when that last boyfriend was cheating on me, I knew in my gut. I had nightmares about it and I denied it. And the other thing that I denied was that I knew deep down inside, he wasn't my one. He wasn't my life partner. He wasn't the man I'm going to marry. But I was kind of faking it because I was so at the end of my rope of, searching for my life partner for so many years that it was like I settled. I settled for less, but I went against my gut instinct that this guy wasn't the one.
Like he was close enough?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was ready to settle. And really in the big picture, I go back and I'm just like, I'm so grateful for that woman that, quote, stole him away from me. Because she saved my life. Like I can't even imagine what my life would be like if I was still with him. So, it really came down to trust issues with myself and trusting my gut and really rebuilding my feminine power to take responsibility for that and forgive myself for not being true and making just a commitment that I'm always going to trust my gut from here on out because it's very powerful. It's very powerful, my intuition. And for most women, we're tapped in that way. So
fast forward. So you're at this point, you're doing your work, you're on your way, and then you meet us and we get on the phone.
Yep.
You agree to have a very public podcasted coaching session with Jolene and I. And what happened?
Magic, miracles, transformation. I think the magic was me having the courage to come out publicly with my coaching with you. Instead of kind of, keeping it private and in the closet. There is so much power for me to speak my truth publicly, live around the world. And so after we had our transformational interview, it was literally, again, I'm trying to count. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 days later that I was on the beach hanging out right here in my local town. And there was this man that I had seen online and had kind of been flirting with him online through Facebook, just through mutual friends, where, I had an online crush on him. But I've had many of those. It's like, oh, he's cute. He looks like he might be a great husband, I had a hunch. But, I get crushes on a lot of guys online because we have no idea who they are. It's just a profile thumbnail and a bunch of, posts that, we edit down to make ourselves look good,
Yep. Yep.
And anyways, so that's the backstory is that I had this kind of online crush with this guy. Lo and behold, after our interview, a few days later, I'm on the beach and he walks up and we're like, oh, whoa, hey, you're that online guy. Nice to meet you. And we both took off our sunglasses and looked into each other's eyes. And that was it. It was just like the fairy tale fireworks, soulmate remembrance, like time just bent on itself. And we just knew each other. And luck had it that he was there with a mutual friend and they decided to sit down on the beach with me. So we casually were able to talk for a few hours, and without any inhibition, he started sharing what he's looking for in a partner. And I just sat there for 3 hours listening to him, not saying a word, describing every quality that he seeks in a partner. And I'm just like melting in my beach chair because he's describing me to a T. And I didn't even have to do any prodding. I was just like, wait, is this guy for reals? Like, he's describing me to the T, and I didn't even have to say anything. So long story short, after we had that in-person meeting and a hug that never ended, he asked me out the next day. We had our first date a week later, and we have been inseparable together ever since. We're coming on our year anniversary. Me and my daughter just moved in with him recently into my dream home at the beach. Oh. And It's amazing. Like, he's everything that I called in and more. And the woman that I am is everything that I called in and more through his reflection. I'm crazy in love. It's blah, 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 blah. Like, it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true. It's everything I asked for and more.
Awesome.
It really, I really feel like what you guys coached through was this blind spot in me of again, settling for less, not really asking for what I want because I didn't really believe it was even possible. And now here's this guy that, I mean, my trust issues are gone. Like, I trust him because I trust my gut to trust him. Mm-hmm. I feel so safe and connected. And within that container of our monogamy, our trust, our fidelity with one another, who knows? Maybe down the line we might be able to have some adventures together. But that's, I really just feel so safe and contained and in the kind of relationship where I really trust that as we go through the ups and downs of life together, that we're going to be able to make it work. And that's mainly because, we can communicate, and he knows everything about my past. He knows everything about the struggles I've gone through. There's no blind sides. There's no telling half truths. There's no hiding. I can be completely myself. And that just is so relieving.
I remember the exact point of the interview where you had that moment, and it was like, I don't think it was necessarily shocking. Like, it wasn't new information, but like the way you said it and you claimed it, and it was like almost like I could feel you putting your stake in the ground going, this is it, nothing less, this is what I'm going to have, this is what I want. And I was like, I was completely blown away. I was like, that's it, that's it was like, it was the most amazing point. And the fact that everything shifted so fast after that just speaks to how powerful it was and how powerful you were in that moment.
Yes, that was it. That me totally reclaiming my power to say I'm not going to tolerate, half-assed relationships where I'm not 100% in and they're not 100% in. Mm-hmm. And that takes a lot of strength when we make those bold claims, because then the universe will throw these enticing guys that are 90% yes.
Right.
And being like, are you sure? Are you sure?
You will be tested. Well, yeah. I think this is something Jolene and I talk about all the time. It's like love meets you at the point of action. Just like spirit meets you at the point of action. Like, you have to do something and to tell to the universe, I'm ready. And that can come in so many different ways. And there's, my God, Google it, right? You can find all the kinds of self-help books, all kinds of deep inner work coaches, all kinds of dating coaches, matchmakers. And it's like, that's what Jolene and I are about. Like, we're offering something to let people step up and say yes. Like, yes, universe, I'm ready. Yes, I want to do it. And that's why we created this podcast, and that's why we created our boot camp. Like, it just gives people an easy way to step up and do something so that love knows they're ready.
Well, and the other thing, Wendy and Jolene, that worked for me with you guys is that you don't take any shit. You guys have no bullshit allowed. And that's really what we need, because when we dream of love, it can be so airy-fairy when we dream about our intentions in love. And what I love about working with you and what I got from the boot camp is that no holds barred. Like, let's get dirty and real. Like, let's really look at what's underneath the rug of what's really holding you back, because that's where the breakthroughs are going to come through. And it's not easy. It's hard to look at our shadow. Yeah. And it's hard to take responsibility, especially like in my situation where I was in that victim stance of, oh my God, my ex-boyfriend cheated on me. Uh-huh. It's like I really had to step in and own my power and really claim my responsibility for that. And you ladies helped me do that.
Yeah, and thank you for the no bullshit part. Because it's like, there's a time when the pity party is appropriate, and I actually encourage my clients to kind of have that for themselves. And then there's a time where it's like, it's enough. Enough is enough. What are you willing to do? When are you willing to take your power back and create something amazing? You're such a beautiful, fun, inspiring example of that. We just had to bring you back.